With another OU Sooner switch up done, can we get another one on the way? Cowboy recruiting and the culture is a little bit different, of course. Don't look now. Cowboy basketball made a way to make it rain. And of course, give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps as to why Oklahoma State Cowboy country can feel better today than even yesterday.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things Cowboy and Cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen. You know we're available on all of your podcasting platforms, visually as well on YouTube. Find me personally on Twitter at AllDayOState. Today we are partially brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment matter more with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook betting partner, because right now our new customers get $150 back in bonus bets off of any $5 moneyline winning bet. Go to FanDuel.com today to get yourself squared away. 3 is company. Now, yesterday we had a very good National Signing Day, regardless of what the quote-unquote expert punditry wants to put out there. But again, if you go look at the offers list of some of these guys, when you have guys that have offers from Alabama and Texas and Washington and Oregon, I don't really think that there's a lack of talent evaluation here. And if you look up and down Oklahoma State's roster, historically, the talent evaluation just makes so much sense. And we got to add our quarterback of the future, and Mayuake Smith a little bit later on. And then today we should be hearing some news. I fully expect a big transfer to come in today. Now, you could chop it up to maybe it's Reggie Grimes from OU. Yes, we need that. We just had a Sooner switch up, which we'll talk about a little bit later, which is fantastic. Give me another one of Reggie Grimes. But if we can get Jaylin Lucas to not be persuaded by Penn State, we love our comps on here. Just like we've comped Garrett Rangel to a Clint Shelf, right? Just like we've comped the Ollie Gordon to Bijan Robinson type of situation here. Now, as a Cowboy, he's hard to comp, right? A little bit of Keith Tosin, a little bit of Joseph Randall, put them together. Now we go to the other side of the ball. Guys, I also think that it would be big time to hear from a former Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma State, either today or tomorrow. That would be nice. Heisman campaigns in Stillwater, they need to kind of have a kickoff party. But Jacobi Oliphant is supposed to announce today at 6:30 on Instagram. This dude needs to be a Cowboy. Why does Jacobi Oliphant need to be a Cowboy? Well, for starters, he's 6'4", 190 pounds. That don't exactly grow on trees that way. And he's somebody that we're clearly going to be able to even get a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, because we all know the body by glass system is the bee's knees. When we talk about comps, he's another one that's kind of hard to just throw something standardized out there. But when you look at him at 6'4", 190 pounds, he is very, very dialed in for Oklahoma State country. He's from the same area as Cam Epps in the St. Louis area, from Chaminade High School. He runs like Cam Epps, but he's going to be the size of Kendall Daniels. So that definitely makes the comp a little bit difficult. I wanted to lean film-wise towards a little Colby Harvell peel, but then I found the guy, Calvin Bundage. People tend to forget how good Calvin Bundage was. Yes, part of that Edmond Santa Fe pipeline, coming out of that Edmond Santa Fe area as a 4-star guy, coming to Oklahoma State University. He only got to start 21 games because he had a couple injuries. One of them was a completely devastating back injury where he was told that he would probably never play football again. He was able to come back from that and then make it for a little while with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL, went on to the CFL, and now he's absolutely killing it in indoor arena style league. But in his 21 starts, he had over 100 tackles. The dude had like 12 sacks, 23 quarterback hurries, and he averaged 0.67 sacks a game. So if Jacobi Oliphant was just a little bit smaller, he'd be a Calvin Bundage 2.0. So this is my comp here, and this is exactly why he fits perfectly in this 3-3-5 Brian Nardo system. If you can take somebody that's Cam Epps speed and Kendall Daniels size, what do we love about Cam Epps? The versatility. The offensive side of the ball definitely was able to shine through for him on film, and then the correlation was made pretty easily at Oklahoma State. I think the same can be said right here, right now for Mr. Oliphant. This is the right place. This is the ideal scenario and situation for you to be in. Nobody in America is going to do to you what Rob Glass is going to do to you. You want NFL, right? Your size combined with what Oklahoma State and Rob Glass can get out of you, plus Brian Nardo, plus the family that is this secondary, this is a perfect marriage to knock this high school class up to 18. And again, we're filling specific needs that do specific things. Give me this Heisman-style kickoff news today. Give me some Jaylin Lucas. I'll take some Reggie Grimes. And give me Jacobi Oliphant as a Cowboy. Guys, Jaylin Lucas, we like our comps, yeah? Jaylin Lucas comp is, I know this is a bold move, Cotton, but can we get a little Tyreek Hill action? I know Penn State's making a late push. I know we've got Ollie Gordon. I know we've got Brennan Presley. But what you can do at Oklahoma State, it's crazy. Jaylen Warren comes back, and one of the biggest things that he attributes to Oklahoma State is getting him to the NFL. When he transferred from Utah State, he knew that the knock on him was he never had breakaway speed. He knew he was powerful. He knew he was elusive. He knew he had capabilities, but he knew he couldn't break away from anybody. He comes to Oklahoma State in a couple months, and now all of a sudden, he's blowing by people. The moves were there. The skills were there. The disposition was there. The work ethic was there. He just didn't have the weight room stuff. And then he gets just a couple months with Rob Glass, and bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. He's in the NFL, and you could argue he should be starting for Pittsburgh. He gets as many, if not more, carries than Najee Harris. His carries are more productive than Najee Harris. And now you're going to get some Mason Rudolph to Jaylen Warren action. Guys, Tyreek Hill was that breakaway home run threat every time he touched the ball. Jaylin Lucas is that. We want to talk about how we're going to be missing Nathan Latu. We're going to be missing Cody Waltersheed. We're going to be missing Anthony Goodlow. I love Deshaun Brown. I think Jaleel Johnson has a very good future as well. But we need some Reggie Grimes action. This Sooner switch-up stuff, it's fun. Now, we don't like the Kelly Maxwell action, but when it goes the other way, it's kind of nice. Everybody loved watching Kel Davis get absolutely destroyed by Oklahoma State. It is what it is. Everybody loved watching Trace Ford, no matter what side of the aisle you land on his transfer. You know, my thing is I know why he transferred, therefore I'm not all that mad about it. And if you look at Oklahoma State historically, there is sometimes some issues where injuries are a little bit of a derailment. I mean, Calvin Bundage injury situation was obviously almost catastrophic. But the striving for excellence that you're seeing at Oklahoma State is being validated at the moment by the success we had. This territory of being number 10, number 11 in the Big 12 in recruiting, it's not necessarily new, which again speaks volumes to what Rob Glass can do. So if Rob Glass can definitely get Jacobi Oliphant to the NFL, Kendall Daniels, Cam Epps pedigree, then we know what he can do with Jaylin Lucas. That return Tyreek Hill guy that you have to hold your breath every time he touches the ball. This is Jaylin Lucas's home. It's Ollie Gordon's home. It needs to be Jacobi Oliphant's home. Right? Yes. Yes, we're going to nod in agreement today because we all know the lay of the land. We all know the way that it should go and the way that it should be. And you also know that in today's age, making money can be difficult. Finding the right people to help you make money can be even more difficult. But LinkedIn, they've got you covered. LinkedIn Talent Solutions is the bee's knees for your small business. You want all the top tier candidates available to you? Well, LinkedIn Jobs is going to help you find exactly who you're looking for, and the timing is always right. Guys, they've got all the professional tools that help you find the right team faster and for free. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate in the first 24 hours. It's not just your typical job board, y'all. They have a vast network with over 1 billion professionals that definitely make this the best place for you to find the right hire. So post your job for free today at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Again, that is linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Go there now. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. From LinkedIn to the right hires, we've talked several times about how the continuity at Oklahoma State has to be beneficial. The consistency within the coaching staff, that's a big deal to a lot of parents, but not everybody. As the Ollie Gordon situation comes out more and more and more, and all of the alignment coming back, and there's not a lot of deficiencies and defections at Oklahoma State because our NIL, I know, sorry, words are hard for me. The NIL collective is doing more than enough to not only keep the right guys happy, but to keep the guys at what is designated as the quote-unquote bottom. The guys outside of, the 85 scholarship players. Oklahoma State is renowned for its preferred walk-on program. We've got a decent amount of PWOs coming in. They're still kind of shaking and rattling some of those trees, I guess. But this is precisely what you wanted out of this class. Again, take away the number and look at what this means trajectory-wise. We've talked about the reinvigoration of Mike Gundy. We've talked about the reinvigoration of the Cowboy culture. You're seeing that with the lack of transfers. You're seeing the accessibility and success of Pokes with a Purpose, the NIL collective. So as this NIL transfer market age shifts recruiting, that's why this number is less significant than previously thought. Is the number great? No. Should we be in the 50s? No. Should we always be in the 25-30 range? Yes. Do I think winning a Big 12 title or two will kick that off? Yes. But at the same time, film typically don't lie. Or we talked last year about somebody like Taiwan Ray, who was definitely a high 3-star, low 4-star guy on film. But because a lot of the recruiting service and the quote-unquote experts were out traveling the world looking for all the transfers and the big-name high school guys, we get a steal. Jacobi Oliphant is the exact same thing. And he's another big-body dude like Ray that can dominate the back end. This safety room is why Brian Nardo's 3-3-5 will be different. I do think that we have barely scratched the surface of what Kendall Daniels is going to be and can be. And I'm not worried anymore about teams coming in and swooping players away just simply predicated upon injury stuff. Have you seen the new almost $400 million facility that Oklahoma is going to start building? Part of that is upgrades in the medical facilities. We've already gone through upgrades in the decision-making process and the staff, and how we handle injuries, and how we handle rehab, and how we are a lot more physically associated. And then it's going to get kicked up another notch when these new facilities come in, and it's possible that we can do surgeries on campus. So some of the things that were slightly bothersome for potentially losing transfers, fixed it. The communication errors seem to be fixed. The lack of direction, it's fixed. The understanding of what's going to happen already next year, it is a beautiful process to already see unfolding. Now, hopefully, it's on full display against Texas A&M in the Texas Bowl. We want to stay in the vein of recruiting. Texas A&M still is viewed as more talented than Oklahoma State. If Oklahoma State starts 95% of its roster and Texas A&M starts 41% of its roster, they're still saying that they have equal to, if not better talent than Oklahoma State. That should be disrespected if you're in the Cowboy locker room. That should feel disrespectful if you're part of this class. So hopefully we put the big boy, Big 12, Brett Yormark bully beat down on this shell of an SEC roster. Because once again, this locker room, it hits different. It is different, which is why we didn't really have any surprises go bad. Obviously, Mailake Smith waiting a little bit later, obviously, that made me nervous, okay? But we got her done. Got to 17. We got the primary guys that I think we were really after. And the versatility of this class is amazing, right? We've got corners that can play safety. We've got safeties that can play linebacker. We've got defensive ends that can play linebacker. We've got linebackers that can play defensive end. We've got safeties that can play corner and do. Things are looking up. And again, we're super young. Our defense is very young. Some help on the defensive line is going to go a long way. Looking at you, Reggie Grimes. This is a breath of fresh air. When we land some of these portal guys that are home runs mixed in with this class, I do feel like at the end of the day, when you combine the high school recruiting class of 17, hopefully 18 real soon, on top of the transfer class guys, we're going to bring in another 7, 8 transfers. And most likely all of them will be providing instrumental, pivotal roles from the very, very get-go. Isaiah Glass may be obviously, competing on the 2 deep, but you always know you're 1 or 2 injuries away from it being your spot. And there hasn't been a season, I can't count the last time, that all 5 offensive linemen from Oklahoma State started the season and ended the season with the same 5. Like, I honestly can't recall a time that has happened. So even Isaiah Glass is going to be factored in here. We've already talked about Kobe Hilton and how dynamic he can be, right? He's like the bigger version of Ladarius Webb. Ladarius Webb would have probably been an animal. I think he'll kill it at Tulane, but he sees the depth in the room. Nick Session sees the depth in the room and the talent. And then you have all these guys coming in. They know the drill. They know how good Landon Cleveland is going to show up looking like. They know how good David Kabongo is going to show up ready to rock and roll. Gunnar Wilson's going to be prepared. Tamarick Johnson is going to be vying to be the next Colin Oliver style of guy. This new reinvigorated Gundy, the new reinvigorated, revitalized, rejuvenated Cowboy culture and locker room is what's guiding this class. And the biggest thing, as we've heard Mike Gundy already talk about, it's not necessarily about the class that you signed today. It's how many of these dudes stay. You don't want to be in a position, never, ever, unless you're Deion Sanders, would you openly embrace losing 20 dudes to bring in 20 new dudes. That's not exactly the recipe for success in our mold. Jaylin Lucas and Reggie Grimes fit that mold. You want to be in Arlington playing for a title? Come to Stillwater. Jacobi Oliphant, if you want to have the ability to be the next Kendall Daniels, you got to be here to be the next Kendall Daniels. This has been a great couple weeks to be a Cowboy fan and to be a Cowgirl fan. And even to be a Cowboy baseball fan. Definitely basketball. We're trending the right way in both. So, we're on the right track here. Speaking of being on the right track, it's cold outside. So warm yourself up with the hottest NFL deals with FanDuel. FanDuel's the #1 sportsbook betting partner for a reason. And then right now, our new customers get $150 back in bonus bets with any $5 money line winning bet. It's 150 bones back in your pocket if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's not a better time to get in on the action. The app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. They've got a multitude of things to bet on: over-unders, player props, parlays, Heisman, division title, Super Bowl title, national title, and more. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to kick off your NFL money-making season. Again, that is FanDuel.com/lockedon. Get with FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. The Sooner switch up feels good. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? Especially when it comes back our direction. And recently, the Cowboys got to experience this with Ron Weber from OU transferring into Oklahoma State. Now, this dude is a pitcher. At one point in time last year in the Big 12, he was leading the conference in saves. So he's not chopped liver. He's a big dude, 6'5", 220 pounds. We watched Cale Davis leave Oklahoma State for OU. And then we watched him get absolutely destroyed when we met up again. And Ben Abrams transferred from OU to Oklahoma State. He definitely got the better end of that deal. So is this another situation where we can take a former Sooner pitcher and turn him into something that he was always striving to be? I think so. This feels so good. Does it make up for Kelly Maxwell? Not quite. Not quite. But this is a good get, right? And if you watch some of his film, his off speed is pretty impressive. He was pitching no-nos, no-hitters at Cowley County. And you already know how Oklahoma State has always had the pipeline to Cowley. And he's an Edmond dude. Coming out of high school, he had a .96 ERA. Cowley County is good at rebuilding guys. Look at Isaac Stebbins last year. The Stillwater product goes to Cali, works on some stuff, changes his delivery, comes back to Oklahoma State, absolutely dominates as our closer to close out the season. So Aaron Weber could be the next in line to come from Cali to Oklahoma State and then put himself in the league. Matter of fact, you want to talk about putting people in the league? Oklahoma State currently, dang it, why is my phone not working? Well, anywho, Oklahoma State is like number 7 right now in the country in the most NFL and Major League Baseball players together. Pretty impressive. But that's it. This Sooner switch up needs to be something that hammers home. O'Brate is the nicest baseball facility, according to D1 Baseball, in all of America. It is designed to host regionals. It's designed to host super regionals. So we need to make sure that we're giving that. We need to make sure we're allowing that treatment, right? And when it comes to hoops, yeah, okay, we'll give props. The Sooners just got demolished by North Carolina in the jump man battle for who gets to wear the Jordan uniforms. And apparently OU got the upside down turnover rendition of that game. But other than getting mollywopped by North Carolina, OU seems to have a pretty daggone good basketball squad. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, it's a little bit of a struggle. Okay, it is. But we might just be getting there at the right time. The Cowboys decided to rain it down from deep to make this one work, as Bryce Thompson chips in 19 points, making 5 3-pointers, going 5 for 7. Javon Small added another 14 points with 4 3-pointers himself. And then Doug Gottlieb's guy, Hicklin, comes in and goes 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. That is 15 3-pointers made. And we made 14 the other day against Oral Roberts. Are we finding our stroke a little bit from the outside? Seems to be that way. Is Bryce Thompson finding the stroke that he had when he was the 5-star All-American going to KU? Maybe. Javon Small is as advertised, if not more. Brandon Garrison still is showing his versatility. Eric Daly gets another double-digit scoring performance, kind of quietly. Mike Marsh gets in on the action. Mike Boynton has this team shooting pretty well. Now, there is still concern going through stretches where we're allowing way more points than we're scoring. So we've still got a lot of things to resolve. But as Big 12 play pops up, as we've discussed, yeah, it's scary. Big 12 is insane. But on top of being scary, it also gives you a lot of opportunities. We love our opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, Jacie Hoyt and Oklahoma State women's basketball win a 5th in a row by absolutely demolishing somebody they should have demolished. Of course, yeah, that's fair. But the Cowgirls boat race in this one, as they should, behind the emergence of Hannah Gusters. Hannah Gusters is the first 5-star McDonald's All-American to ever put on a Cowgirl uniform and do the daggone thing inside Galgaraba. The Baylor/LSU Kim Mulkey product dropped 17. She dropped 27 to get a massive W. After just dropping another 21 with 7 boards, she goes for 27 and 5 boards. Guys, this is a very, very good basketball team when healthy. That's the key. Can this Hannah Gusters keep it up? Well, if she continues to get some assistance from Quincy Noble, she's going to be fine. Because on top of her 27, Anna Gret Asi drops 17 with 9 dimes, almost a double-double. Quincy Noble, after dropping, 16, 18, drops another 15. We know what Lawyer Garzon can provide, and she gets a double-double with 10 boards on top of it. Riley Langerman gets 11 boards on top of that. Fully healthy, fully operational, this Cowgirl team can make a run, especially with the assistance of Hannah Gusters. She's the first of this magnitude to put on a Cowgirl uniform, and she's showing us why. So, of course, recruiting does matter, all right? But Jacie Hoyt's got that down. Mike Boynton's got that down, too. Mike Boynton needs to make sure that the recruiting equals W's. In this wild, wacky, crazy Big 12, there's going to be so many opportunities for Mike Boynton and Cowboy basketball to go to new heights, to dream bigger, to dream about March. All right, y'all. That's all we're going to have for this one, all right, yeah? You know I love you. As always, God bless. Go Pokes. Thank you for tuning in to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. You could be anywhere. So happy you choose to be here. Like it, share, comment, subscribe. Go leave a review in the podcast country. All right, y'all. Later, taters.